I really shouldn't, but I'm going to.
Wait. Matron, take them away.
And a warm welcome to one and all. If this is your first time here, the big fella, that is the Scruffy trader. And sitting next to me is Tinky Winky, Wonder Wink.
Tinky Winky.
Who normally says when you shouldn't means don't do it, otherwise I'll kill you.
You're a stupid man! A stupid, stupid man!
Because I'm in trouble all the time, boys and girls. It's always behave, stop that, don't do this. Well, I do it anyway, just to antagonise it to see how far I can push the buttons, but...
How does your missus put up with you? Must be my legendary prowess as a lover.
Should I do it with trading? That's the question. Well, the answer is no. One of the conversations I have all the time is how long does it take you to become consistent? How long do you learn the skill set? Well, I can actually teach you the skill set in sort of 2 or 3 sessions. I really can. If I do a one-to-one with somebody, which I do, they probably get more in that sort of first session than they do spending years scouring around YouTube looking at, well, let's be honest, this shit.
You ding-dong!
Give it to me again.
You ding-dong!
Trading isn't like that. Trading is all about planning, preparation, all of that sort of thing. Now, I do a lot of homework, probably more than most, and that gets me through it. But why? Because I run a business, so I know when to stop. I know how much profit I want. I know what pain thresholds are, all of this sort of thing. And I also work on ROI, return on investment. So I'm investing my time to get X amount out as much as I'm investing on the table. So there's all of these things. And when it comes to my job, I'm very disciplined. When it comes to my home life, well, that's maybe is a different story. Am I disciplined at work?
You are very disciplined, yeah.
Okay. Am I disciplined in the house?
No.
What do you mean, no?
You know?
Why? Tell them good people there. Just say, Scruff is a model husband.
You're Scruffy.
No, that wasn't... No. Scruff is a model husband.
Scruff's a model husband.
You facetious cow.
I think it's correct.
See that, boys and girls? She picks on me all the time. It's not very good. It's not good, you know. Right? But I do get out of jail quite a lot. And how do I do that? Well, we have lots of holidays. And I treat her all the time. Which is why the guys in the Discord always laugh at me. Because I'm either in some cafe having breakfast, McDonald's, in a restaurant, or I'm just having a bit of a jolly. And we going on a jolly in a couple of days again. So we're doing really well. Well, I'm saying we are. I still have to work when we go. She has a jolly. She's going, oh, I'll go shopping. I'll get new gym stuff. I'll go to the spa. I'll go to the gym. I'll do this in the beauty parlour. Well, what am I doing? You just get in there and pay for it. Never you mind what I'm up to. She's a right cow. She picks on me and everything. She's horrible. You know, I'm chained to this desk. Say.
You know, you're a classic example of the inverse ratio between the size of the mouth and the size of the brain.
Right, enough of the rambling, enough of the taking the mickey out of the wife.
I can see a word.
That's all right. Normally she sort of looks behind me, and she doesn't think I can't see her. But when I'm looking at her, I can see her as well because it's got a little screen, and I can often see her going like this behind me back because she's naughty, you know, boys and girls. I mean, the age of us, we should really settle down. But our kids are embarrassed by us. We are like the dysfunctional family first order. Anyway, talking of dysfunctional families, let's have a look at my other dysfunctional family, which is this lot, the Scruffy squad. And I try to help them as much as I can. Now, earlier on, there was the news announcements. I was talking through them, and trying to reel them in to not trade the news because it is really dangerous. But I was also having little chats with Blackbeard, Michael, and this is for you. And why is that? Can't quite find up there. It is there. We were talking earlier about Euro USD and where to put fibs, where the market might probe to, all of this sort of thing. So I broke it down for them. And within that, I set up the levels you're about to see and gave my opinion on it. Now, I didn't trade it this morning because I thought it was dangerous. And I still think it's dangerous. And you'll see that here. Because I think it's a risky trade. Although I've opened my gob, so I'm going to back it up. Now, just because it's risky doesn't mean to say it's not a good trade. Because it's actually coming in pretty much now. And if I was to draw a fib on this, this might actually give me a trigger pretty much now. Let me have a look. So if I pull that fib up to there, it's breaching the 50, as we can see. The overall market is down, so this is actually a good point to start drilling in. So let me just drop an order in while we're talking, and I'll take you through the process. Now, I am going to short this. Now, I like orders to come to me. So we'll place an order in. Now, what we're looking at is I'm going to put a series of orders in at different price points, or I'll rephrase that, different target points, because it is risky and I want to manage a single position. Right, let me just drop that in there. 25, just a second, and then I'll explain what I'm doing once I've put these in. Okay, because what you're seeing here is in the moment. I don't trade rollback charts or anything like that. What you see is mine. Okay, what I've done at this point, if I just kind of drop this to a 5 minute, there we are, they're in. Is you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, kind of around there, the base of that candle, across the tops of them, seem to be a logical place. It is also sitting just below the 50, which it has broken and held. Seemed a good place to put it. Right, so why have I broken these up? It helps me manage it, because I can alter each position to suit. So if I'm going to walk away, I can have them layered up, and they'll just naturally close out as they go. And it just, for me, it just makes common sense. Because if I put a fiver on at this point, well, I've got to watch a single position and I've got to close it down, do this. Whereas here, I can just pull the targets around a little bit. Very, very simple. So anyway, so what I've done, and if I just drop back onto the Discord, now they're in, I put up the sheet that you've just seen in the Discord. Now, I went in at 20 to 1, and this is based on the 1 o'clock candle to run through. But why 22? Well, it's because normally I would do it at 12 o'clock. However, we had the BO, the Bank of England interest. So I wanted half an hour of just peace, just so that I can see what's going on and then make the choice. So did all my adjustments at past 12, and that's going to run right the way through the 1 o'clock candle as well. So that's why I've done that. So these are ready. Now what I'm also going to do is I can stage into this using these fib points as well. So I'm quite happy with that. But let's have a look at the big picture. So if we look at the daily, well, this thing's on a merry move down. It hasn't really had much of reprieves. And when it has, they're pretty shallow and there's violent red within them. Now, we've had some shocking red candles recently. Now, in normal circumstances, these will retrace, but we're not in normal circumstances. Lots of news. The dollar's very strong, pushing down. We've got news in the Ukraine and Russia. Everything is sort of, God only knows what's going to happen. So we've got to rely on technicals. And, well, personally, I rely on technicals anyway. I follow what's called the 80-20 rule. I think 80% of the chart is technical, 20% of it is news and fundamental. There's a very simple answer to this. I don't understand the news and fundamentals, so 20% of the time I just don't trade. It's that simple. How do I work that out? I look at the economic calendar. If I see the news is coming, I just stay out. That's simple. Right. So in this case, we are pushing down. 4 hour. Super drop. It didn't pull back. Dropped down again. And now it's testing on these levels that I showed the guys how to draw in. And the one that will be catching my eye is this blue one down into the black one. Okay. Now, even off that candle there, there's a zone wrapping around the black one. So that is a reasonable contender. Okay. But it's risky. So what do you do in the risk? Well, we can see it's pushing down. Come to the hourly. You can see what is really a flush. I'll just remove that so you can see it. What is a flush out? In other words, the market's pushing it up really to fake you guys out. Then think, we're going the other way. And that's what's happened. And you can see that with that long tail there. And then came down, creep you back in, announcement comes, boom, down it goes. So now all I need to do is just work these charts down to this blue line, certainly into the yellow one, because with it being risky, I don't want to outstay my welcome. Because why is that? Because it could easily come down here and then shoot back up. So I'm being a bit cautious, and that's what we're doing. So everything tells me it's going down. This is coming down. A fib is showing me that it can come down. Now all I need to do is just drop it into a 15-minute. Well, what does this tell me? Well, there's a drive. There's your push. It's gone back up. It's failed to try and get back up here. So if it's not going back up here, it has to come down. And if it's coming down, where's it going to revisit? It's going to come down at touch points. Well, that's what that yellow line is. And if we run it across, well, lo and behold, it's where the stall points are. So that's my first place to be. Now, I can also take profits off on the way in, but when it hits that line, I'm actually going to move that down slightly to there. When it hits that line, I'll make certain I'm risk-free on everything. And then if it comes back and stops me up, so what? That's simple. And that's my premise. That's what I'm going to do. There is the 5-minute. And again, you can see it's pushed up. It's failed to get higher. It's pushed up, failed to get higher. So it has to come down. That seemed to be a logical point. So might be nicer to be under there as well. Down it comes. But if it rattles up and it gets above here, then I'll have to sort of reevaluate what I'm doing. It's not that far in fairness, but if I come back to the hourly, so you can see it there, I will stage probably up to about the middle of this, and I'll be good. If it breaks through the middle of that, I'm probably wrong, going to get a slap in the teeth, but I'm prepared for it. And that's why I break these up, because I can manage it backwards and forwards. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. And then I'll come back to you at the end and we'll see whether it was good, bad or indifferent. Right, boys and girls, we done. Killed it all off. And why? Because it hit what I needed it to do. Now, I work to 200 quid a day, as well you all know. Now, I am working it on another setup. If you bear with me, I'll show you. And it has already paid me, so I'm quite happy. So there's my gold account. It's giving me 232 for myself. Quite happy with that. Leave that alone. And what's this one done? Well, this has paid me a colossal amount as well. In fact, it's paid me more than £200. Why? Because I watch what I'm doing all the time. I keep an eye on it. And once I'm at a certain point, do I really need to stress any further? No, don't. So I just pull the plug, take my money, and that's it. I'm done for the day. I don't need to stress out any further. So what do you take away from that? Well, I'm constantly pulled apart on how I do things, why I do things. My job is very simple, guys. I just want to be paid. That's it. I don't care about being in the markets all day. I want to be in as least as I possibly can, because then I know that my account is safe. Because believe it or not, sitting on your hands is the best position you've got. You're not losing money, but you're not gaining money either. You're static. So I wait for everything in my favor. And this one was really, I wanted to back up what I said to the guys this morning, because I always believe that I should, but I still didn't go into it willy-nilly. Yeah, it was a C trade and it was deemed risky, but I watched it. It had a strong move within it. It was in line with the dominant trend. So it was risky, but it wasn't as risky as it seemed. But all I had to do was stage it. Well, that's what you saw with all of those broken positions. Because it was a reasonable idea it would oscillate. And those broken positions allow me to manage it if I so needed to. Now, as I was watching it, it dropped down. It went up to 136, 140. I'd already pulled 80 quid out of it. So I only needed 120. So just pull the plug. And why? It was at the end of the candle. And it was starting to oscillate a little bit. And I didn't need to sit through it. So that's it. So less is more, guys. I do implore that. Less is more. And if you're looking to work the charts, understand how to read them. Not indicators, not X marks the spot, or signals, or any sort of shiny bollocks like that. The chart itself. Look at what it's doing. Is it pushing up? Is it extremes? Is it moving in the same direction as the dominant trend? Is there a trend within a trend? Ask yourself all these questions. And then just target appropriately. And when you see it, walk away. It's that simple. Just walk away. So there we go. That's the last trade of the week. I'm not sure whether I'll be trading next week because I'm taking a few days off. And I've already been paid for the week. But do keep an eye, because I'll update the challenges, etc. And if you've got a query for Coffee with Scruff, drop it in the comments below, and I'll see if I can weave it in. So as always, guys, trade well, keep your risk managed, but above all, do what you love, and the money will follow. See you all on the next one.